Hello my friends, my name is Roman and this is a 16th tutorial about JavaScript. Today we'll talk about function. When you use some code, many times it's very useful to use function. When you can use your part of code as many times as you wish. Let's look at the syntax of function. So first of all we write function keyword, then we write name. In braces we write parameters and with comma, and we can use max 255 parameters, and then we write the code, our code. So some statements. So this is just a syntax of function. So let's look at the real example. Let's multiply two numbers. So we write function, then we write name multiply. Here we write parameters. So as we know that we can max use as we want, so we can use with comma. Here we should use two parameters, x and y. We can give name as we want, as we wish. Then we write return, and here we write the what we want to do. It's very important that every function should return something, some value, because without it will just do it, and the interpreter will forget it at the same time, and that's why we want here we wrote the function declaration statement. So I will write here function declaration statement. So here we shouldn't use the semicolon, and it's our function, and now we should to use to call this function. So the syntax of it's like this: name of the function, and we write our parameters. And in our case we have two parameters, so let's write it multiply, and for example 3 and 4. Let's multiply this one. So let's open console, and save, and we see nothing, because this function also returned it and forgot. So right now we should to write console log and write this function here. And we see 12. Also we can write it console log in the inside of the function. So I will show you another variant of this. So here we write return, So we do here our calculations, and here we just return call our function multiply, and with two parameters 3 and 4, and we see that it's will 12. Also we can write here for example 5, so we see 15. Okay, it was call of the function declarement statement. Also it's very common use, and also it's more better to read the function declarations expression. So it's right like this. I will show. So it's very similar to this, but we should to write variable, and then here write multiply of the same name, then to assign to this variable our function, and here we don't need the name, because in this case it will have name anonymous function, because it hasn't here name, and this function has a name function declaration expression. Okay, and let's and in this case we should to write semicolon. So let's call this function again like we did before. We commented this, so multiply, and let's write the same numbers like here it was before, so 3 and 5. We see these 16 lines. We see that it was logged to console 15. Okay, it was about function declaration expression and the function declaration statement. Let's comment it. By the way, here we can write in this in parameters, we can write as much parameters as we wish. For example, we can write here also 10 or 555, for example. So we will not get any error, any bug, because it will just not use a function, it will not use, but it will just ignore it, but also it will not give any problem to us. So I will show you the example of it. Let's declare some function declaration expression. For example, say hi. So function, and here let's write the name. So it should return hi, and here let's write the name. Okay. I will show you. Here we can just log our function, the value that return our function. So let's write log. Here let's write say hi. Okay, and in the parameters we write name, for for example, Roman. Okay, and hi Roman. And as I told, we can write here, for example, 15, some another parameters, for example, this one, and just also we can write string. So if we will save it and we want to see the what was logged, it will not last. No, it will not log nothing. But we can log all of our parameters. I will show you. It can be with a method called arguments. So I will show you. Here we write our say hi function, and because it's also, as we know that it's a object, function is an object, so we can apply it here method arguments. So let's see what we'll get. We see that we have 4 arguments, and we see here an array of our of the parameters. Also, we can just log, for example, our sort, our force header, for example, our sort argument. So we can just information that we can see all of our parameters, but without using it. Okay. Let's talk about callback function. We can, as we know that the function is an object, so we can add function to parameters of the function, and we can also return function from the function. So at this example, I will add function to the parameter. I will show this example. Let's create func, variable func. Here we declare function assign function with the parameter. Let's call it for callback. Then we write some variable, for example name, and assign it Roman to it. Then we call our function that is written here, callback, and we write as a parameter name our variable here. So now we want to call our function, so we write func, and in the parameter we write function, and to the parameter of the function we write the just some parameter that we will use in this inside of this function. So console log, for example, hello, and concatenate with our this parameter with n. So what we'll get, we'll see hello Roman. What it was here we we um, we add to as parameter our this our function, and we use that we so we used this function inside of this function. It was callback. So also I want to show you what if we will haven't, because I forgot about here, about not used arguments, for example. So let's delete all these arguments, and also let's delete this argument. So you see, hi undefined. When we don't use any arguments, when we didn't assign any parameter to the arguments, we will get undefined. So it's just information for you. It can be useful. Okay, it was just here we talked about callback. Now let's talk about function, about return function from the function. Here let's write function. So we assigned to our variable anonymous function that hasn't any parameters, and here we write return the function and log. Let's log something, for example, hi there. So what we will get if we will call this function? So write func and just simple call this without arguments. So we didn't get anything. So to get some value from this, we should to return this one from the function. So right now we got the value from it. So, and also I want to show you example of self-invoking anonymous function. Let's write it. Self-invoking anonymous function. So how it looks like? Here is the example. We declare variable, example, say hi, declare our function, and here we write a keyword, then example name, okay, return hi and plus name. Okay, and then we can here we also can assign the parameter in to the function, so it will run with a parameter okay, let's look at this example. Roman. Okay, and here we just write just console say hi, and we see that everything works because we assign the parameter here to our function, and in the end time when it was running, it also get this this parameter here. So we can write here, for example, nothing, so it will be hi undefined. We see. Okay, for today that's all. We will talk about more about functions in the next lessons. For today that's all, as I told. Okay, thank you for watching. See you in the next lessons.